There is an ancient proverb.
The pupil is ready, the master will appear. It will take dedication, it will take time.
This is Desiree Duvernay welcoming you to Nelson Medicine. Now, in the Old Testament, there was concentration on action. Now, Jesus in the New Testament, Christianity, is now going to add a new dimension, because Jesus is going to tell us that it's not just in the action. He has come to not change the law, but to fulfill the law, that the action of the problem is in the original state of mind of desire. You want something, covet, and then you steal, or you do adultery through lust. These things, he's going to tell us about the powers of the mind. Jesus is going to tell us that it's not the action of the sin, but the seed of the emotion inside, the coveting, the desire, those type of things, the lust, the anger, the hate, that those mental seeds are really the problem. Now, small minds have respected the name Jesus, whereas a larger mind recognizes the teachings of Jesus. And to really respect the teacher, we need to honor the teachings, not just the name of the teacher. So now let's review some of the teachings of Jesus.
One of the things what Jesus teaches us most is about love. Love God, love yourself, love your neighbor equally, love your enemies. Just love, be love. Jesus also focuses on judgment. Do not judge others. Do not condemn others. Forgive and you will be forgiven. Give and you will be given in return. Care and share. Small minds allow judgment to be in control, and that kind of judgment will shield them from reality and shield them to see the true value and the blessing and the gift of people. Jesus said, I have not come to abolish the law, but to fulfill the law. The seeds of sin are in the evil thoughts in the mind. Jesus said that the seeds of sin are all in the mind. The seed of murder is hate. The seed of adultery is lust. The seed of stealing is greed. We are known by the fruit of our actions. A good heart and mind makes good fruitful actions. If your heart and mind are evil, then work to make it good.
People have the idea that they can live a life of sin and on the last minute believe in Jesus and they'll go to heaven. Not true. Jesus says, you are known by the fruits of your actions, not by the fruits of your belief, by your actions.
Take action today. Make good. For only the righteous, good fruit and actions can get you into heaven. You are judged by your actions, not your words or beliefs. Make sure you make good decisions. Everything starts in the mind. Make your mind good and good actions will follow, and goodness is its own reward.
These are the teachings of Jesus. People don't really understand. And there's so many people that want to say the name Jesus, but really what we need to do is respect the teachings of Jesus. Learn about the teachings. That's the best way to respect the teacher. Jesus was a great teacher. We must remember and honor his teachings. He taught us about humility, mercy, righteousness, the fulfillment of the law, that the seeds of sin start in the mind. We need to look at a new idea of the spirit of the law. Ethics. He taught us about morality, challenging the conventional interpretations of righteousness at the time. He taught us about prayer, how to pray, gave us the Lord's Prayer, taught us about fasting, taught us about things like it's not what goes into the mouth that defiles a person, but what comes out. He taught us about love for the enemies. He taught us about a lot of different things that we need to pay strict attention to. Yes, Jesus' teachings were profound, but yet it was difficult to actually find a list of them, to really get to it, because most Christians seem to be flexible and interpret them any way that they wish. But if we look at strict what is actually teaching from the gospel, we see that these things must be remembered. And we must realize that this is what affects us, and that this is how we believe, and that in order to relate to somebody, you have to be able to understand what they believe. Well, we talked about the teachings of Jesus, but also recognize that Jesus recognizes that there's evil. Christianity, Jewish, they do recognize that there are evil. In fact, in Christianity, it's taught that the cause of evil is mostly the want of money, greed. But also, we need to recognize that silence in the face of evil can be evil too. So recognize that as you're learning to deal with people, there are people who are hypocritical, who bend the rules of Jesus, sometimes ignoring the rules of Jesus, ignoring his teachings. And that they're often doing this of their own needs, their own concern. So recognize that evil exists, needs to be dealt with.